about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you're never leaving my face. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no. You're a minor. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's missing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my face. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no. You're a minor.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. I thought I was, fuck, this ain't gonna work well. Oh, this is all we gonna get. This upright screen. Shout out to all you guys. My mic wasn't just on for like a minute, but hope everybody doing good. Damn, I'd jump on if it wasn't at work. It's good, Geminis. Yeah, if anybody wants to jump in on the topic, um, I hope everybody doing well and swell. But just so you know, most people know, the topic is in the title. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, check out Brian's last stream. Here's the Deal channel. It was a very, 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 very good stream. It just showed a lot. It showed a lot of stuff, man, and it was good to see a lot of people come together and talk, even with different views, backgrounds, beliefs. It was just a good thing to see them come together, talk, and the main focus was on, rights, freedom, and the slave mentality versus the freeman's mentality. And I like stuff. I like watching stuff like that because I analyze every single body, where their mind's at, where their perception is at, what their perception of what they're into, how they view all. That's what I look when I watch stuff like this. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not watching it to for entertainment or just like, oh, it's just you know yeah, whatever the topic was. The main point of his video was about an auditor that's in jail. I really wasn't familiar with him. I've seen him around, but in um, delete laws, Chile. He caused like a lot of shit, but and then nonetheless he was still an auditor. I thought when he first came that he was some kind of agent. After a while, he was just doing a lot, but hey, he's in jail, so I mean, hey, it just is what it is. But nonetheless, he's a part of that community, the auditing community. But that's what the stream was about. I guess he was in jail. It was a lot of, it was off basically a bogus charge while he was in jail, and they're holding him. And the judge just released him yesterday, and he's still in there. I don't know if he's in there now, but he's still supposed to be in there. So that's what it was supposed to be about. But most of it was about the slave mentality, about being free. What is the freedom? What are the Constitution? All this other stuff. You know, People were talking about they want to get Terry v. Ohio overturned and stuff like that. People were like, man, y'all fight. They were like debating about that back and forth. But it was really good. I'd recommend anybody to watch it um, because there was a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge in there, and a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff, and it was just real. And that's what a community should be about, actually. Guys in jail, people trying to help them out, get the word out, stuff like that. That is more of a unity of a community. So, you know, I'm just telling people to check it out because there was a lot of knowledge dropped in there, and reading the comments, a lot of people, um, you know, some of the stuff was foreign to them to hear this stuff about how you're set up as a slave, how the trust works, the trust they got you in, and how they got you as a you know a dead beneficiary that basically cannot do anything because they got you as dead. Oh, they got somebody speeding. They got you as dead. You know what I mean? So it was just a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. Um, and people don't know how the system is run, man. And getting together like a group think tank and talking about it, rather than after you bang out all the hammers, you're like, everyone's trying to get their points across on this, that. Now, hopefully Brian has another one of those. And now you get into brainstorming. And then there are people saying, oh, you're losing a lot of people because people not ready for this work. There was one dude that was on there. I really don't, he's, as a brother, yeah. But as far as the way he goes about things, the way I look at it is he's looking for a quick, easy, he wants somebody packaged up for him because he ain't got time for it. That's not how this works. This is a lifestyle. This is an understanding. This is something to know. Unfortunately, we got to know this in this system. You know, it's just, it is what it is. Is it too late? Probably. I mean, these are the reasons why, yeah, they got them. These are the reasons why they're trying to break apart the United States, is because a lot of people aren't figuring this stuff out. So they're like, oh, we can't put a lid on it. We don't use sovereign citizens enough. It ain't working. We did A, B, C, and D. People are figuring out. People are reading. Whatever our agenda is just not going to quite as fast as we wanted to go. Let's just break this union apart, and it will remove some things. Then we can go more tyrannical. So, um, that's a lot. But again, go watch it. There was a lot of information. Also what I look at is the mentality of people, and it's good to see that the people people were leaving because, like I said, they don't want to know this. It's too hard. It sounds too complex. They don't they're in it for entertainment. They just want rights given it to them. Like they don't understand. People don't understand, unfortunately, how this works. That's why people when I talk about the Constitution, people are like, oh, you're for the Constitution. You don't understand. You think you get your rights, there's nothing, nobody gives you any rights. Your rights are already given to you. The Constitution keeps them from it's supposed to keep them from violating your rights. The problem is it's not self-executing. What it is you have to bring it forth because you become an honor, right? That you become honorable, therefore you don't need your honor. You call them who the fuck they is, whoever their name is. Their name is Mike Judge. You call them Judge or you call them Mike. That's it. They're not your honor. So there's a lot of things to take and see people come together to actually work towards, you know, and brainstorm on what we're in right now and what they've been studying and trying to do this for so long. And they're dropping facts. I mean, me, because in my own life, you know, this stuff is what it is. It's how this corporation that is not a corporation is ran. Okay, it is what it is. It's how it's run. You know, and without knowing how something is run, how are you going to try to combat it, fix it, change it, wake people up? You don't even know how the system is ran. That's like and you don't know nothing about it. Meanwhile, the brakes, they ain't got no brakes. The freaking transmission's slipping. It'll go in first, but you ain't gonna be able to stop. You're gonna crash and kill yourself. It's the same thing. How you gonna be trying to do all this and not know how the system is ran? The principles of how what we're in is ran. That's rule one we broke, becoming a so-called truther, right? We they just that was just not even on our minds. It was, oh my God, this thing I've never heard of and that thing I've never heard of. Well, that's how I was with this whole law thing and understanding how the system works is, I never heard this before. I want to know, you know? So, um, and again, it's good to see this come out. And again, it's supposed to be coming out right now because a lot of this I told y'all, why these things are being talked about. And this is what I noticed about that stream. It went from the title and about the guy, the auditor that's in jail, to straight to this. This is where a lot of things are going because people are realizing, unbeknownst to them subconsciously or whatever, now these things are coming to the forefront of the mind. It's like, what have we been doing all this time? None of this has worked. I was debating somebody the other day, messaging back and forth about how they said they're totally unplugged and they don't do the left and right paradigm. And, they call it the politricks, politricks. I don't do politricks, the left and right. And I'm like, maybe that's what they wanted you to do. And he's like, nah, I'm totally unplugged. I'm like, unplugged so they could further their agenda by doing processes, law, and all these other passing all these things without us knowing. Because the people that know are away. The ones that really know what's going on our way, trying to make, pay their bills and buy cars and stupid shit and not pay tax, all this other dumb shit by learning this, keeping them busy all these years, trying to do this, trying to do A, B, C, D, and E, and try to get something for nothing because they know that's what people want, something for nothing. When they should have been, you know what? Let's not pull away from this. Let's actually go at this how it's supposed to be going at. When these people come out with these bills, when these people come to these meetings, when you hear them speaking in legalese in the meetings, talking all this stuff that you really don't know, and they say, come spend 2 minutes and let your voice be heard, actually was there with the real voice on paper, because they, your voice don't matter to them because you're already dead, you know? So imagine if all the people who learned all this stuff, wisdom and knowledge, kept it and stayed in it. They wouldn't be able to do the stuff that they done. They would actually have to show their tyranny by breaking their own rules. And then it doesn't work for them. All right. And remember, it's a spell. And if they break their own spell, it's actually going to turn on them. That's why they'd rather destroy it. That's why you see a lot of the acceleration to destroy it. And another thing that other people asked was proof. There's no proof. There's no proof. You're not going to find the proof. There's little proof here. There's little proof there. They scrub it off the internet. They're not going to make a case law from it. Some of it they do. They mask it in another way. But when you see the reason why things were changed, it's because, boom, you got me at my own game. But they're not going to have on record a person who understands these processes. It's just not going to do it. It don't work like that. And then the thing dealing with this, everything is on an individual basis. They treat you exactly the way you're supposed to be treated individually. Ain't that crazy? When you start pulling the hat trick on them and knowing what they know, they treat you as the individual now. Nothing else matters. He said, she said. You don't matter with the other citizens. It matters what you have done. You, and only. And if you're in a party dispute, it still don't even matter. And this is what I have understood and I've learned is I don't even got to mention the other person. Just put their name on there because that's what the whole action is under. You put the name of them, but you don't even talk about anything that happened because you don't have to, because what's right is right. If you didn't do any wrongs, there's nothing to talk about. You only pull facts of law and you win. That's it. You don't argue. There's no controversy. There's nothing to talk about. If you damage somebody, you got to pay for it. But if you didn't do absolutely anything, there's nothing to talk about. But the rules that protects them from violating you. It's that simple. And people say, "Oh yeah, we're still taking these." Guy said, "My friend got in a lot of what the fuck was he doing? You got 20 years. You did something besides anything. There's always there's but they ain't no proof, you know." And a lot of people try to learn this when they did some dumb shit, and now they want to learn it. Oh, it don't work like that. This is spirituality. This is being an honorable person in honor with yourself and others, who is not going to bother anybody, who is not going to harm anybody, who is going to try to be righteous. That's who this. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We must have hit a dead spot. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if y'all heard me. I don't even know where it cut out at. What's good, Eric Thomas, Honey Badger, Space Monkey, Mexican Righteous, Cuts. Good to see you back, Cuts. Whatever, Gemini's, whoever else is up on here. Uh, uh, yeah, so I was talking about, being an honorable person. You know, being upright, righteous, not bothering, you know, the next person because they understand universal law. I already told you they understand it's cosmic law, which is universal law, which is natural law, and it comes down to man's law. That's it. There's all this other stuff they know. They even put it in all their documents. They put all of this stuff in there, guys. It is what it is. So these are for honorable persons. I always read my favorite quote. Justice is the wait, hold on. Justice is the end of hold on, goddamn cops somewhere near clocking and trocking. Right there, just sitting there clocking his ass off. Be all over here. Lurking. As I talk about, see how our system is? You see, that's what we got to deal with. That is unnecessary. All right. Them sitting there, putting speed limits over there. There's other countries, guys, where there is no traffic enforcement. They don't do that, guys. I mean, it is what it is, you know? And that goes to show you that we are under some kind of rule and we don't even realize it. Some kind of rule. I mean, people say it's military rule. We're still under martial law. Other people say that it's, you know, I forgot what they call it, what act they such act they call it. But I mean, it would seem that way because there are nations, countries that don't bother you. You know, it just doesn't work like that, and we're so free. You know, yeah, exactly. Mexico. They don't have that. There are not people clocking traffic, you know, doing all this other shit. Other countries, you got the autobahn. Motherfucker, there is no speed limit. Why do we gotta, you know, we're so free. Why do we need, oh, because of safety. And again, Americans are a special kind of human being, guys. When you start looking at the rest of the world, Americans are special people. Not special good. I'm talking about specially just mentally in bad shape compared to the rest of the world. If y'all think, you know, the majority of Americans is some smart, intelligent creature, y'all are mistaken. Go look at other cultures, look at other places around the world, actually talk to other human beings. It is not, it'll blow your mind, you know? It just is what it is. Uh, so, again, guys, please check that video out. And again, my favorite quote is justice is the end of government. It is the end of civil society. It ever has been and ever will be pursued until, until it be obtained or until liberty be lost in its pursuit. And that's where we're at, guys, because people aren't in justice because they tell you straight up, this is the government. This is from Thomas. Wait, no, this is from Thomas Jefferson, or this is from Hamilton. One of them. Maybe it's Hamilton. Let me just give y'all the it's one of them. I don't care which one it is, but it's one of them from the Federalists, right? Number 51. I think it's Hamilton, the one that went and dueled with the one guy and got bodied. Oh no, it's James Madison. My bad. Was neither one of them. I know it was one of the famous ones. But James Madison said, justice is the end of government. Why? Because when you're in justice, right? Because justice is the exercise of authority and vindication of right by assigning reward or punishment, also the quality of being fair and just, moral soundness and conformity to truth. That's all. A human being needs to be morally sound and conform to truth only. That's it. And then your injustice, therefore, that there's no more government is not needed. They tell you you don't need government if you're in justice and you're an honorable person. Look up the etymology of justice, look up the etymology of honor, look up the etymology of truth. That's what we're supposed to be. And you know what else that supports? Common man. You don't harm anybody. That's how it should be. Man under man's law. Common man. I'm not bothering you. You don't bother me. Everybody's cool. If we damage each other, we got to pay for it. If we get in a fight, well, we got to pay and fight. And that's how it used to be. They used to have gun battles, guys. Draw. The Wild Wild West. That's what I tell you. People want you to believe. I told you there's a truth community. There's truthers that believe that this country was just set up, whatever this was, country, state, was just set up to be what it is. I don't think so, because when you look at how things were put in place, there were things put in at certain ways where in a time where people actually weren't free. There wasn't all these regulations, there wasn't all these laws, there wasn't all this stuff. You just got to go back and understand the history of law, and you'll see. Yeah, there was unjust laws, there was unfair laws, but you got to understand those were the times that it was in. Just like I was talking to this brother, and we were going down. I was trying to tell him how, dude, you wasn't no slave, and he, at the end of the thing, he even knew that his grandfather had land. He tried to give him in Alabama, and he didn't want it. I said, when did he acquire that land? He said, well, it was always in the family. Exactly. Why? Because that was Chickasaw, Choctaw, and Cherokee territory, and the treaty was already signed. So the people that was on those lands, because the Europeans didn't need it, wasn't nothing out there, they just left it. And those people, there was no war no more, no battles, so they still had their land. And there's a lot of it in the South, and a lot of black folks don't realize their family has a lot of land in the South. Simple. So you tell me how tyrannical the government actually is. Yes, it is now. Because why? Unfortunately, out of ignorance, and they did help with it because some faction did come along and say, no, 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 we gotta enslave, we gotta enslave them. You know, because when you start understanding and reading case law from 1800s, they would try shit. They'd be like, no, that's why it's case law. Wouldn't work. And then you look up who these people actually were, you be like, damn, they was really prosperous. They was really about that life, you know? So yeah, man, a lot of people don't understand that. And these are the conversations that we should be having. And this is why they want to rapidly destroy you look at all of a sudden, Joe Biden is deteriorating very rapidly. Like we all knew after the solstice, his soul was going to be going down. Now he's just mixing everything up because they need to rapidly end this corporation because people cannot retain the power by using their own stuff because people are moving things through legal systems, guys. People, hundreds of thousands of people are moving things. And there's so many backlogs of cases jammed up everywhere. And that's why the United States has to split apart because they're not going to honor, they don't want to honor this faction that's here wants what it wants. This system that's in play has to go out. They formed everything with these contracts. And then another thing people don't understand about the Constitution, it came from the natives, the original people. They had confederacies. That's what they used to formulate the Constitution of the United States. The Bill of Rights, all that comes from the native cultures that were here, how they did stuff. You know, that's where that stuff comes from, guys. They had confederacies. You know, they had treaties. They had, hey, that's how you got the Constitution, guys. It's no secret. What happened? You know, hey, they washed that. But when you go to Pennsylvania and you see, well, Pennsylvania been here before the damn Constitution. Oh, wait, no, wait a minute. Pennsylvania been here before the United States. Wait, it was independent. Oh, wait, what's really going on? You know. So yeah, it was a good talk amongst a bunch of guys. I don't agree with everything, but it's just good to brainstorm and talk because them all your solutions is coming together and talking about this stuff. And the people that are all, I don't breaking away from other politics and all that. Well, MK Ultra, social media, gateway program, mind control, put that in your mind to remove you out of there, so there will be less friction, and they can just roll right along. And instead of people like me and others and massive amounts of people who know understand that, wait a minute, y'all motherfuckers, they're going here, given 2 to 3 minutes, and then they're reading their affidavits, right? Their orders that they're about to put in place, their bills right in front of you. And then afterwards they say all in favor of this bill or this, and this say aye and da da da, and they slam that gavel and they sign that bill or they go do their little regulation. Well, guess what wasn't there, guys? A voice, words, affidavits. That's how they talk, guys. Contracts. There was no affidavit to stop them. Nothing. Just a bunch of dead people squawking, quacking, right? Cuts, quacking. What do you call quacking? Just a bunch of people quacking at a goddamn thing, you know? Oh yeah, that's what I want to say about being honorable. Again, cuts. Whatever happened to you, I'm just saying what goes around comes back around. That's just how the karmatic energy works. All right. You gotta let things go, man. You know what else? You're gonna keep bringing this on yourself. It ain't nobody's fault. Whatever happened, I don't know, but I'm just saying, as just a person who gives out, things from my heart and what I see, I already know something's gonna come back around. You know, but the whole thing with RBM train, it was not warranted, nothing. I said that got to come back. Unfortunately, you know, what's good out in Erie County, that has to come back, and it did. I'm just saying, and whatever you got going on with what's his name over there, you got to stop because the debt's already been paid back. All your energy, it's already been paid back, man. You know, you're going to the point where you only could hurt yourself. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, when your body gets repossessed by the same system I'm talking about, you know, whatever the situation happened, no matter what it looks like, feels like, I always tell people this one. I don't give a damn. Somebody could be in a car, driving down the street, flick a paper out the window. Now you know that ain't you're destroying Mother Earth, you're littering, you're destroying your creation. That's gotta come back to you. You see somebody, you do something to somebody, or somebody goes and steals something. That's got to come from somebody. That's got to come back to you. And I tell people, it don't matter. It could be as simple as just you see somebody drop a say. Okay, you see someone drop a wallet. You pick up the wallet. You look in there. You see some money in there, but you want to give it back. You slip a couple, or you just take the money and give it back to her, or whatever. You know that's coming back to you because you knew who had it. That's not finding. You knew who had it because you watched them and you did it. That's got to come back to you. And guess what? It may be something as you lose the money, or it may be something that you might even lose your life. That's how karma it doesn't know how big and how small to bring back that debt energy that you got to pay. It doesn't understand it. All you know is it's coming. That's why I tell people it doesn't matter what we do in life, somebody's always looking, and that's your own self. That's your conscious is always recording yourself. So when it tells you, damn, like, I shouldn't do that, guess what? When it all comes back, it's just gonna come back the way it does, you know. And then we got to stop and look at us. Like, damn, what have I been doing? And then if you're putting out this certain kind of energy, you got to reconfigure your energy, and that's just coming from a brother to another. You know, that's. There's no explaining it. Ain't nothing to explain. You know, you got to look at what it was. You know, but I mean, it's time to let it go, though. Just it really not serving a purpose at this point. You know, and I'll let it go, and that's just me. But people that come over here and are just leaving all these comments. I get tired of seeing it, stuff like that. But this should be like a sign to say, you know what, chill. I mean, you could even be the bigger man and just say, you know what, I want to. I mean, that's just me. I don't. I mean, for me, being angry is harder than being happy and forgiveness. That's just me. I'm not an angry person. I can't be angry, you know. But yeah, man. So, anyways, back to the whole thing. This video's about, again, here's the deal. Did a good stream yesterday, and the topic was um uh about the what's one auditor. I didn't really I've seen around, but he just was like a lot. But it's like it turned into talking about how the system is ran and stuff like that, slave mentalities, and there was anybody to go watch it. Anybody that's here needs to go watch it. Maybe you can catch some. I was going through the comments, and a lot of people were interested, and I see the other side of waking up. People are like, because it is. I mean, this is just how the system is ran, and people don't know. But these kind of talks start to snap people up out of it. Start to like, yeah, okay, I get it now. And if there's all of us have different levels of how to communicate, and some people could break something down easy. Like there's some guys who do this kind of understand how the system works, but they talk in ways that where you're like, I can't get that fast. You mean I got no? They just all no, and that's why a lot of people like me because I dumb it down. Not saying anybody's dumb, but I dumb it down for myself, so I know as people how I think can understand it. And that's what I like the whole Constitution stuff. I tell people, look, no, you have no rights here at all. None. You know why? Because you already have all the rights. So nobody can give you something that you already got. That's what people don't understand. Truthers don't even understand this. Oh, it's my right to do this and do that. You don't need to hawk it's your right. You just gotta tell them, like, look, I have the right. It ain't your rights. It's that I got the right already to do what I'm doing, you know? And then, the other naysayers be like, oh, what about they don't listen, they turn and they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. Like there was one guy on there who was like, man, forget all that. We need to overturn this law. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? What do you mean we need to overturn like this Terry v. versus Ohio? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you do. You need to overturn you need to repeal the entire way police. Point blank, period. Because other countries, I don't know, function without road piracy. They just do. And guess what? Their people are better. So something's wrong with the whole picture because, and this is what they don't want you to do is look at other countries. They want you, oh yeah, the United States is the best and the best and the best and the best and the best, but don't realize you are m- highly mistaken. You know, highly mistaken. All right, listen, guys, let's not talk about that stuff. I wanna. This is the stuff we should be talking about because it would stop a lot of nonsense in people's lives. Come on, Space Monkey, cuz stop with the just come on, let's keep it on the topic. It's always some off the wall shit, Space Monkey. Come on, man. I be wanting to read the chat, but I never can because it's spammed with like shit that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You know. But anyways, you know, uh, these things, man, like is so important in our everyday life. And again, you got all the rights. What have they done? Yeah, they done some stuff to us. Made us a fucking fiction. But we gotta say, look, we ain't that fiction. And then you have the naysayers like say, oh, yeah, I get that. But when you get pulled over, you do this, the cops, they're not gonna listen to that, they're gonna bust your window, do all that. Exactly. You don't do that with these people. And again, I've done it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm about to get the license, the ID and all that shit, the license. Because I done did all that shit. I got free many times. Cops, state troopers pull me over, have it on video, conversate with me about stuff. I show them my tribal ID. Boom, they ain't want no part of me. Let me go. Not in Florida, guys. They don't play. They not trying to hear none of that shit. And same people, other people that, understand how the system works. These cops, they will put you, and they are told from the higher ups, because this is becoming so prevalent, to just go do it. Do whatever you got to do. Because they'll just, hey, most of them don't go beyond, because once they get you, they bring you to the jail, and then they'll do what? Give you some tickets, and then you'll do what? Fuss and fight and cry and complain and come there and speak that. The other guys will speak that they'll call it, gobbledygook, sovereign citizen talk, but it's actually real shit. Some of them don't understand how the game is played, and then they'll say, oh, okay, boom, you got the fine, this, that, whatever the fuck you about to do, and they just go railroad you anyway. Why? Because they're like, you're playing in a game. Whatever you're talking there really doesn't even affect that game. It's the next level. And that's when you got to understand, if you live in that, it's a lot of stuff you got to go through. You going to stand on that? Well, you better, like Paul on Slave says, better be prepared to go to jail or die, because we already know when you get pulled over, it's a life and death situation, anyways. You know, I decided, you know what? If it was just me, but I'd be with my boys and, my wife and all that other stuff. If it was just me, and I do a lot of traveling. If it was just me, shit. You talking? I'm going full. I'm spending the 72 hours in the lockup and leaving the same way I came in. You know, because they'll hold you for 72 hours, and they gotta let you go no matter what, because you ain't did shit. You know, their driving thing is all a big facade. It's fake news. It's all a facade. It's a contract. You got a right to travel freely. You got a right to your own property. They have case laws on this, but are they gonna listen? Yeah, after the fact, but this is why they make fines the way they do. People would rather just pay them instead of going through all that work. Pay a couple $100 instead of going through, 2 years of going through the little administrative process there, getting railroad. Then you got to appeal it, because you're not going to plead guilty to no shit. You're going to let them do whatever they do, and then you'll still have your right for an appeal. That's why before they give you your tickets or whatever, you say, look, you're facing $500 fines. Look, we'll drop it down to 150. Da da da. You're out of here. Most people be like, hell yeah. And the first thing they say, oh, do you choose to plead guilty? then you waive your right to a trial. See? Wow, you got what? Now you got rights all of a sudden. Whoa, that means I got rights all over the place. You just told me I got a right to a trial. What other rights I got that you're not telling me about? You see? You see? You got all the rights. They're just not going to tell you. So after you go to little fake little bull crap trial, which they're probably not going to go through a trial when you're talking like this, because they know if they know you going all the way, they gonna just might kick it away. But if they just go away, okay, all right, you're fine, boom, boom, you're out of here, here, 300, 500 out of fine, boom. Now, some people will appeal it, you know? What you're supposed to do when you're into this is when they want to go full blown, you got to go full blown. So you got to appeal it, you know? Same thing with family court and all that shit. Same thing, you know? Even in family court, they say you got a right to a trial. And in family court, they say you waive your right to a trial. Ain't that crazy? But you're not pleading guilty to anything. You're just settling. You just come into your agreement. And then when you read the paperwork, they say, upon stipulation, both parties came to agreement and is here decreed and adjudged that such and such ordered that such and such. And you read it, you're like, wait a minute. They said we agreed. They made an agreement, but the judge was telling me I had to do A, B, C, D, and E. See how they play you? They play us all the way around, guys. You got to read the paperwork. Everything's on the paper. They don't tell you anything. They don't care. You got to look what they put down on the paperwork. Even on the traffic stuff, they don't got no supporting deposition half the time or an accusatory instrument at all. Their accusatory instrument is a damn ticket. How does that even work? How do you bring your accuser to? You can't do it. It's impossible. They got the damn officer. It's wild how they got this set up, guys. It's because of our ignorance, they're allowed to do it. And then you got other people out there who make sovereign citizen videos getting paid and getting a lot of views and saying, oh, look at this idiot. Oh, he doesn't know anything. And then you got the other people that push this shit. And then people think, oh, I could go do this and go out and do this. And then they get fucked up. Don't work like that, guys. I've always told y'all, look, I don't recommend none of that at all because I know what I have to go through. What's good, Wise? Wake up. It's 1984. Shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you. So I don't recommend that for nobody, from nobody. So again, these are a lot of the things that they were speaking on that stream, and it was a great stream because for me, it was a good stream because it's opening people up to look at this stuff. And also, it shows that people are interested. And it shows you that the people that ain't interested. That's what I like. That's whatever, you know, Brian does or whatever. It never respect the fact that he's always been, you know, like uh he always he always goes back to, you know, letting people know what time it is. Like, cause he knows people comes over there and follows him from, that be all in the left and right and all that political crap. And then I like when he goes there and then you see him all, I'm unsubscribing now. And I love that, you know, but it should be, oh, I want to understand what you understand. But again, I told you this whole social media is MK Ultra mind control, guys. 100%, 1,000%. They literally have people turning their brains off to stuff that is just foreign to them when humans have natural curiosity. Ain't that crazy? And they knew this. This is how they knew how to shut all those doors in the mind and and it was even people that were on the panel that called some of them Sav Sid talk. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what? Hold on. No, that's not even, that term isn't even possible. You know? The term isn't even possible at all in any way, shape, or form. When you're showing how the system is ran, you understand how they made you dead. You're a walking corpse. That's why you're a corporation. You're a corporate fiction. They can only deal, case law says they can only deal with corporate fictions and fictitious entities. Okay? What are they? What is a? They got person under there, right? This is why you can't talk. This is why you got a right to remain silent. See, in court, you can't speak unless you attorney yourself to an attorney who steps in and takes over all your assets in the state. That's exactly what they're doing. You got to see the paperwork that they fill out to turn into the court on your ass on behalf of you. It'll blow your mind, guys. I got a local bookstore here in Rochester that I go to that attorney's office is closed. Those books are $1. And I tell you, I've got some jewels for a buck, guys. I fill a whole box up, spend $20. These books at the time was thousands of dollars. These documents you can't even find. Attorney documents on how they have to write up when they take on a client and turn into the courts. It'll blow your mind, guys. That we'll never see. This is why lawyers don't work for you. They never do. They don't work for you. You think they work for you, but their first duty is to the court, to the client second. That's just law 101. They'll make it seem like it. You get a lawyer, you tell him that you're not going to be your lawyer anymore. He's like, I can't represent you. You know, you got to just play stupid and use them. If you're going to use them, play dumb. And then slip stuff here, slip stuff there. Say, look, can you file this, file that, file this? Boom. I've learned a lot from doing that stuff. And again, there's other people, and I'll tell you too, the best thing you could possibly do is get a public defender because he's got to defend the public. And if he quits he can't quit on you. His job is to uphold your rights under their own constitution. You see how it flips? I don't need a fucking public defender. I'm just saying, people that need one, get one because you got to be held to the standards of upholding the Constitution and the government from violating your rights, guys. You pull that rabbit out the hat, that's all you got to talk about. And these are for people, I'm only speaking on people who don't do shit, don't harm people, don't do crazy, isn't out there committing crimes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about crimes. I'm talking about all this other stupid shit they got out here. Told you, just seen cop pull somebody over, the cop sitting there. That's not law, guys. That's extortion. Everywhere you turn, they're extorting you for something. Parking. I got a parking ticket in New York City. Fucking, there's 100 fucking signs. I can't tell which one. Fuck it, I'll park there. Boom, got a damn ticket. Ain't that crazy? You want to contest this ticket? Flip it over and follow the instructions. How the damn they just instructing you? Isn't that crazy? So yeah, man, it's good to know these things, man. And like I said, man, check the video out if y'all like. I just wanted to shed eyes on it for people who are interested in stuff. They were dropping a lot of jewels over there, and there's like 4 people who got channels that were on there that do stuff like this, that teach you, that probably can give you something that I can't. You know, they might could be able to compute it better than I can. You know, so shout out to High Impact Brian. I don't, that here's the deal. Shout out to him and all the other people who went on there, dropping the jewels. And I was saying I don't agree with everything, but it's a good way to start talking. And again, just look at why they want to destroy it. And then it's not destroy it how you think. They're breaking this United States up. I was just in New York City and my son reminded me I was supposed to do a video 2 years ago when Cuomo changed the name, the motto of the United States. I mean, the United States of New York State. because now they got it plastered all over New York City and like plaques. Out of many, we're one. And I'm like, oh shit. And it was at the Rochester airport too. Out of many, we're one. And that's what was, well, I forgot what it is. The freaking Latin. But it translates to out of many, we are one. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, think about the whole COVID shit. Think about how all the states have been doing their own thing. Look at how New York State is doing its own thing, kind of separate from everyone else. They already telling us out of many states, we are one. We are our own state. And that's the kind of verbiage they've been talking already. So when these states split apart, because that's coming, guys. I've been telling y'all this for a long time, before Mr. 19. I've been telling you this when I realized what the Real ID Act was. It's splitting apart federal, state. Why? It removes the protections of them going all out tyrannical. And they're going to create chaos in the mix of that for them to do what they're doing. That's facts. That's what they're doing, guys. So I'm like, damn, out of many, they're one. And look at what Texas, they've been planting the whole seed on us in Texas. Oh, the federal government don't want to do this. All the illegals, all this, all that. Listen, guys, they're making moves. Look at Florida, all the rhetoric on Florida, California. They're making moves, guys. I told y'all, go look up at the coalition of the states. I get emails every day, text messages, just to stay in the loop. I met them people, good people. I mean, it's a good plan. Sounds great, but the problem is, I tell them, it's going to remove the very thing that protects you. And then you do have the ICCPR, which is actual supreme law of the land, and that will come into play forefront, but it still is here. And again, it's not self-executing. It's not self-executing, just like the Constitution is not self-executing. You got to pull that bad boy up and bring it out to the forefront. Say, look, you're not about to violate my rights, right? And I got to say that so people understand what I'm saying. You already got rights. Nobody's giving you anything. The government don't give rights, guys. Where have you seen the government giving rights? Where in any kind of document, in any kind of case, read case law, have you heard the government saying it somewhere there's rights? You got credits of rights and they got to give them to you. Nowhere. That lets you know you got all the rights you already need when you come in and breathe the breath, even when they try to take it. You already got the rights. They're already here. That piece of paper, along with the state constitution, keeps them from violating you. Now, do they play fair? No. You got to cross your T's, dot your I's, and go through battles. Again, it's all individual, always been. And that's why another thing, people don't understand that none of this is for, like, they want you to, they brainwashed 95% of Americans to believe that this is some kind of democracy. So even if you don't believe in a democracy, guess what, guys? You think like it's a democracy because you think you got rights. You know how many truths I've heard said, they violate my rights. I got rights. You know, I got rights. You're supposed to protect them. No, they not, man. You're supposed to use that piece of paper to protect yourself against them. They don't protect your rights. That's why you see them doing what they're doing. Where have they said we're out here to protect your rights? They may say it, but the law don't say that. The law does not say we're here to protect your rights. Because they don't do it. They do all the opposite. And it dawns on people's minds, say, why does the government say that? But they do the opposite. Come on, man, get in the right lane. It's not even a Hellcat or a Scat Pack. You can't stay in the right lane. You can't even burn rubber. You probably burn rubber when it's wet outside. come on, you can't stay in the lane with a V6 Challenger. What's that, a 3.7? Man, it burns gas like a V8, but your traction control ain't even gonna stop you. There's not enough power to activate the traction control. So, um, there's nowhere that says they give you rights. Go to City Hall tomorrow, say, look, I want to know if y'all got rights for sale because I need some rights. They don't do that, guys. You have to bring your rights forth. That's how the game works. And this is why this stuff needs to be talked about. Because even a lot of the authors be out there, oh, I got a right to do this, I got a right to do that. You don't. There's some things you don't have a right to do. Because you got to understand what they've created in the public and you're private. A private citizen, private person, right? You could use that. It doesn't matter if you overlapping them. Trust me, I've been in court, family court, and I've used certain words that people say don't use because of this, and realize them motherfuckers was damn agents because they lying. They don't care about those words. It's how you pull the law forth to protect yourself. That's it. That's it. With individual, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Think about that. Yeah, they're saying all, but motherfuckers don't even know what the three-letter word ALL is. They think it's like the commercial back in the soap. ALL, all. No, it ain't to wash all the clothes. So it ain't for all the fucking slaves, guys. It's for all individuals. Okay? That's what it's for. They don't just come here, here's it all your boom. Nope. Uh-uh. Don't work like that, man. It's just a game that they got, guys. Is it right? No. But that's just what they got in place. And if it was us coming together and educating and understanding this, and all hundreds of thousands of millions of people doing this all across the United States, could you imagine the effect we would have on their system? They couldn't hide it no more. They couldn't lie no more. They couldn't do none of this stuff. Could you imagine that? Then it would actually be implemented for all, guys. Things would disappear for all, right? And again, that whole Terry versus Ohio that they wanted, some of these auditors are like pushing to get that needs to be overturned. I agree, but the whole thing needs to be overturned. That Terry v. Ohio gets overturned, they can't do a lot of stuff anymore, guys. That stops them a lot of shit they're doing. You know, so you know, imagine if most people knew these things. They couldn't pull these tricks on us anymore. We would be in every state times a thousand. You know, so I say, like, how easy is it to come together on these platforms? Super easy. So easy we can't do it. It should be stuff like this where, a guy like Brian, okay, somebody's going to court. Now they're live streaming on his channel and everybody's watching. You have a person like Long Island audit who knows that got attorneys and shit, like we all watching the whole case. You got millions watching the case. Man, come on. Could you imagine who would get railroaded? Now you do it for family courts. Who would get railroaded? Helping people out in the road piracy, all this stuff through the family court systems, through all the other shit that mess around with people and terrorize people and messes their lives up, all the injustices. Imagine that, guys. Look, tune in, such and such got a court case. We got a court case, live streaming it. They live stream the court cases. Imagine it be turned just like how you audit police. Now you're auditing court cases, and millions are watching. Could you imagine that shit? Millions watching, you know, millions watching. So think about that, and through that process, people will be learning, guys. Be like, damn, okay, yeah, I remember. You know what? I'm in the same situation. That makes sense. And then people giving updates and this and that, such and such. That's how it should have been, you know? Traffic stops, oh, I got pulled over and this and that, violating my rights. Oh, okay, let's watch this. Let's do this. Because I remember there was somebody who maybe was it auditing area? I mean, auditing Long Island got pulled over, and he had oh yeah, I think it wasn't him, and he had the attorney shield people on the phone with the cop, at the traffic stop. I mean that. I mean, come on, man. Just imagine if all the communities of so-called truthers and people were like, yo, like, look, this is important case, and only to people who don't do nothing. I ain't talking about people who actually doing shit. No, I'm sorry, y'all gotta reap the You create problems, you gotta deal with it. I'm not talking about those people. And I'll repeat that again. I'm not talking about people who do dumb shit, fucked up shit, wrong shit. I'm talking about people that are actually going through stuff. you know like, yo, like, that ain't right. And it could be a screening process. Okay, what happened? Let's look at your papers. Okay, look, yep, this is one that we're gonna all tune into because it's not right. Not if you look at somebody call you, hits up a big platform and like, look, man, I got the situation, and then you look at the paper and he done smack the shit out of somebody. No, sorry, we can't help you. You got to deal with that. See, this is what it means to be upright, honorable, and just. I mean, it's somewhere to start. I mean, because ain't the government ain't just gonna just disappear and stop its tyranny. You got to make them stop, and you ain't gonna go there waving a gun at them. I mean, y'all seen the damn fence they got around for whatever summit is coming to the DC. They got they got the big uh end game fence around DC again. So just some things to think about, man. But I'm almost at my destination. I may come back. I don't know. But I gotta get up off here. But shout out to all you guys again. Go check out that video from Brian. And I'll get with y'all later. But I gotta get up off here. I'm at my destination. And I've been driving all damn day. So much love to y'all. And let me put my damn disclaimer up here real quick. Let me put my disclaimer. Hold on one second. Let me put my disclaimer up here, and I am out.